All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of GAR Capital. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to join me this morning and every morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here on the YouTube channel. Here a little early this morning, kind of want to prep the team for what to expect today. In terms of the week, we had an excellent week. I will make sure to recap that the week in total, how we did, go over everything. That'll be a video for everybody here on YouTube. I'll post that when I get it done over the weekend. So with that being said, new bull market. Welcome aboard to it. We've been talking about those October lows, ad nauseum, really over and over, that the 200-week moving average on the S&P was your support. And looks like we are right, because technically we're in a new bull market. Bull market, by definition, guys, is 20% rise from the recent lows. So that's the technical definition. If you don't think it's a bull market, fine. I mean, you can call it whatever you want, but this is what it is. And you're getting some breakouts. So we're going to go ahead and chart it together. Let's start with the major stuff. Dow futures up 104 points this morning. NASDAQ up about 0.14%. S&P 42.26. Remember that 42.06 level. That was the 100-week moving average. We have not closed the week yet. We want to see where we settle. Remember that. We're not there yet. 17.99 on the Russell, up 0.48%. Crude oil futures, $73 a barrel, up about 2%. That shows a little risk on action. Dollar pulling back, 103.25. 10-year treasury yields, 3.696. So we're nice and clear above that 3.5 level. So starting to see a little bit of financial conditions easing as more people are more bullish, or what I consider a short squeeze for the most part. Everyone was short, the biggest short positioning since 2011 on S&P 500 futures. This is what you get. So we're going to go over that here in a second. The volatility index is at 1585. Okay, that's not something that I'm comfortable with, but we're going to go ahead and talk about that here in a second. Let's go and take a look here at gold, 0.22%, 1964 an ounce. Thank you, dollar. Euro dollar, 108.05. Dollar yen, we are green in our trade still. 138.55, we got in around 138.35, so we're up about 20 pips. I made a TikTok video on it yesterday. I'm still working on that TikTok stuff. I'm not the best at it, but just bear with me if you have it. And again, I'll put more clips up, some chart stuff, anything that I see, or a headline. I'll give you guys a brief explanation. Some people have enjoyed those clips, so I'll try to get that more to you guys. 124.45 on the pound dollar, up 36 pips this morning. Bitcoin futures 26,940, up 0.6%. 1817 for Ethereum. What's the level we're looking for, class? 30,000 Bitcoin, 2,000 Ethereum. That's what we're looking for. So I know I repeat it all the time, but again, know your levels like the back of your hand, and you'll know when you're ready to go. But let's get to the most important stuff. The highlight of the session, I guess, is really the bull market. Carlos, is this a bull market? Is it technically a bull market? Do I believe it's a bull market? Yes, I believe it's a bull market. Do I believe it's sustainable? Absolutely, because the bottom is in. The bottom's been in since October 2022. That's basically when everyone thought the world was ending again. And what you're starting to see a little bit of is kind of the catch-up trade. So yesterday's price action, and understand, at least from a valuation investment standpoint, we'll have that view first. When it comes to these stocks in the stock market, tech has been rallying, we know that. But we just got their earnings. I don't know, is Microsoft really 26% more valuable today or this year at this time over last? Really, well, what have they done so differently? Apple's actually at negative growth, negative 1% sales growth. All this has been, guys, is really expansion of multiples, price multiples. So the E has been stuck. I mean, earnings growth hasn't been that great either. It wasn't terrible. We had a very low bar. But again, these tech stocks haven't done anything really magnificent yet, other than AI, and we'll get to that in a second. So all it has been, guys, is really it's more of the multiple expansion, people just buying into the AI trade, right? We talked about that in 2023, the 2023 top 10 stocks. Be sure to take a look at that video. I'll post a link in the comments of the top 10 stocks of 2023. We talked about how important semiconductors are the new oil, and so far so good, right? But with that being said, can things get overheated in a short term? Yes. I think, in my opinion, when it comes to this move, this is nothing but a short squeeze where everyone was short and the stocks went higher. And then what happens? In order to close that position, you have to buy. That's what happens. Again, nothing has really fundamentally changed with stocks. We haven't gotten a pause from the Fed. We still have a debt ceiling thing. And again, I'm not a bear at all. I just think this is more technical than anything else. And that's okay. You can make money that way. I still think it's a trader's market. And with that being said, welcome to the bull market. And you can see now on SPY, we're above the February highs, getting close to the August highs. But if we compare it to QQQ, you can see the August highs have been absolutely obliterated. We actually have a gap to fill at 359.47. Now, while I don't expect a straight shot to there next week, but how do we make money today? So it's a bull market. Okay, now, Carlos, now what? What do we do? Let's start doing our homework. We'll go to Add Study. We're going to go to Momentum Studies. And we're going to pull up the good old RSI. If anyone's been trading before or read a trading book, we know what RSI means, Relative Strength Indicator. So what does this mean? Overbought. Overbought. Hello. We're not overbought territory on NASDAQ. Last time we were here was back in February. And guess what? Everyone thought we were going to break out, and that was it. I still think we're in a bull market. I still think we'll continue higher, but you're not going to get a straight shot to 360 tomorrow or Monday. So how do we make money today? Now we know that we're a little overbought. Does it mean that we cannot go higher? We can be more overbought-er. Yes, you could see back in November, it got really hot at 408. But guys, every time we've had these overbought conditions, we get some kind of pullback. And now we have to kind of chart it into what kind of pullback will it be? Well, I went ahead and took a look here at QQQ on the, let's go to the hour. You know what? Let me take away this study because then I really need some space here. So we're going to go to, let's see if I can see a drawing. No. We're going to go to Edit Studies. We'll take away the RSI. We'll press Apply. Okay, there we go. All right, so QQQ. What are we looking for? So what we're looking for, guys, in Qs now, let's say if we want to short for whatever reason. Let's say we are overbought. We have Powell today. We have OPEX today. What happens? If we get a pullback, keep an eye on the 332 level. That was your breakout point. Now, again, if we come back to here and we hold, now we know what our support is. But if we break it, we're going to start looking back at some levels that we broke out of. Then you got 327, 323, you got 320. I mean, you got quite a bit of room down, obviously, since we rose so fast. But again, the overbought on the daily does not give me a lot of confidence. Doesn't mean that we cannot go higher, but the thing is that it's not sustainable. So again, even if we drop 5% from the highs, that's not exactly the worst case scenario. I don't think that will happen. But hey, what I am looking for, especially as an investor, as a trader as well, what I want is that this resistance, the 100-week moving average, we talked about that with S&P, we talked about that with Q. If we can go ahead and retest that and hold it for a week, for a weekly close, and we bounce, that's basically it. Now your previous resistance becomes support. And then all bets are off. You're filling that gap, and it's a matter of time. And then more than likely all-time highs probably within the next 12 months rolling. And that's just the case on bull markets, especially when you have such depressed sentiment where everyone is just so bearish. And again, everyone's on the same fence. Does this change anything? Could we get some FOMO? I mean, we're seeing it with the AI names, the stocks like tech, mega cap growth. Those names are catching bids. And until said otherwise, we're just going to go ahead and keep riding this train higher. And this is what it looks like, guys, when you have momentum. If you are new to GAR Capital or new to the morning note, the chop that we've been having, guys, that's not usual. That's just sucky chop, and it's very hard to trade it. Once you start getting momentum, you get days like yesterday. You get days like Wednesday where you're just cooking, and it becomes just easier. I can't say easier, but you become more in tune with the market, and you know what you're looking for. You're looking at your setups, your breakouts, your breakdowns, and as long as you're getting continuation, guys, that's really the name of the game. That's the sauce that you're looking for. Do I think we're at a mania yet? In terms of AI, we are, but we're not like at a meme craze yet. I still think there's a lot of bears that need to be wrung out. And again, maybe I'm being a little too cautious on the short term because I'm a trader too. But long term, yeah, the worst is over. I mean, that's what it is. Should you go out and run buy stocks today? I think we get a healthy pullback of some kind. Let's retest that 100-week moving average and see if we hold. That's only 25 points away on S&P. That is not much away on NASDAQ. Again, that's probably what, a 2% move drop. I just think we can get better prices. It doesn't mean that the stock market is speculative right now, that you can't invest in it. I just think we get at least a shot to get a pullback. We had that during COVID. We had that during 2017. We had pullbacks that led to greater rises. So, don't think that you're just going to go straight up. Don't think that, because it just won't happen. You're going to get some deviations here and there, and then throw your headline you want, the wall of misery, anything, blame anyone. But again, technical patterns and, of course, demand define everything. So we'll go over the trades that we had this week, this weekend, and we'll kind of go over exactly what worked and what didn't, as always, and then we can kind of prep ourselves for the week coming. Got some 31 TQQ calls. What levels would you look for on that runner? Let's see it. Like I said with QQQ, we are getting a little bit overbought. So again, with an OPEX day in Powell, I am actually expecting us to get a pullback. If we continue higher, great. I'm not going to complain, obviously, but I just think we get a little bit of a pullback. I can't really say how much percent. I won't know exactly, but I think a little bit of a healthy pullback, maybe some call option starts closing here on an OPEX day, sure. You do have a gap here at 34.97 on the TQs, Trevor. I don't know when your expiry is, so in my opinion, I take it. I take the runner today, move on, and then go back clean next week. But maybe TQs have a little more, because 34.97 is that gap to fill. You could see it here. So right there on the daily chart. And again, guys, we're above every major moving average possible on the daily. That makes sense. The 100's about to break above the 200, and we also have a golden cross from April. TQs definitely has some room to run. So the question is, can we get a better price with any kind of pullback? It's hard to kind of chase it unless you're trading it. Investing it, different story. But when it comes to trading, we just have to anticipate these moves. Now we're seeing the VIX at sub 16. This is where we want to go ahead and start taking a look at insurance, like I talked about yesterday. This is where we're starting to look at the other side. Hey, man, is it really all good? Maybe maybe we got a little hot too fast, and that's okay. And that's where we can make some money. So I'm not saying be bearish today. I'm just saying keep an eye for a pullback, especially with OPEX. If you're a same-day trader, those zero DTEs, just be very careful, because you're going to get those crazy swings. So, trade at your own risk in that sense. In terms of trades I have open, I have Mara and Cat. Caterpillar was a put, so it was 20% the day on Wednesday at close, and then we soared. So just reversals. What can you do? I think we run in the morning and fade for the rest of the day, trying to play basically bearish too. I'll take my money and run then. Been doing a little rough lately. It's all right, Trevor. Sometimes you just need to take your profit and kind of like cultivate those wins, even the small ones, because they compound over time. So do losses too, but I think the feeling of winning, even getting something for a small trade, I think that provides that momentum moving in to next week. It's very psychological trading, man. It's like poker. You start getting a couple good hands, you start getting a little bit cowboyish, and then what happens when you start losing big hands? You get very meek on your bets. It's kind of the same deal in that sense. I hate to use that gambling analogy for trading because it's very different, but risk management isn't. It's all the same there. So take cues, I agree. I think we do kind of pull up in the morning a little bit, and then we have Powell at 11 o'clock in the morning, and then we have OPEX all day, options expiry. So expect some volatility. I hope we hold, as long as we hold the 4,200 level, 4,206 and S&P 500 futures. That's the weekly moving average. I think we should be okay. I just hope we don't break below that. That would not be fun. Well, not fun, but again, I hope I'd be short by then. But we'll go ahead and, we'll get one more question here. Thoughts on BAC, Bank of America. All right. In terms of the chart, I don't see anything rather special out of it. Anything above 30, that's where I'm looking for a little more strength into BAC for a pop. But in terms of now, we're above the 20, so you got some momentum, obviously. But I wouldn't touch it here. You'd have to break 25 to go short and break 30 to go long on BAC. So not much to do there. One more thing. KRE. If you guys remember this chart, this is the regional banks ETF. Remember this chart I posted or I talked about? Look at that. Perfect support right around 36. I mean, I don't think every bank's going to fail at one point, but again, oof, look at that hockey save of a trend line on the weekly chart, on the multi-decade chart. Have a great rest of your week, your day, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you, Zoom Balloon. Thank you, guys, for watching this video. If you do like these videos, make sure to hit that like button. Appreciate it as always. We will see you guys next week on Monday for the next morning. Cheers.